Hey guys, it's Stephanie with Glitterful. I'm a couple minutes late, but we're here. I'm gonna wait till a couple people log in and we'll get this going. As you guys can see, I have 3 cups here. I have 3 cups here, one completely finished, which is the one that I actually did a tutorial on. And then one that is already completed, and then another one that we're going to do together. So, hey, Kristen.
Hello, hello, hello.
So, all right, so we got a couple people jumping on. So while we wait for everybody to jump on, I want to quickly chat with you the colors that we're going to be using. Um, and I guess Mike will let me know if I get in the way of anything. Let's see. All right, so okay, so we have a pencil collection that we have here at Glitterful, and it's actually the pencil kit, the normal pencil kit, glitter pencil kit, is made up of Candy Yum Yum. I can't really see, so you're gonna have to help me here. Candy Yum Yum, Sunflower, Tin Man, which is our silver, NYC, our black, and Fool's Gold. Okay. Since I've already done 2 cups using the first pencil kit, I am going to do my 3rd cup using Glitter Pencil Kit 2.0, which is a combination of our newest Ultrafine Lolly and our newest yellow Ultrafine, which is Pikachu. Okay? All right. So I want to quickly show you guys the difference, and since this glitter is still rough and you guys can see it without epoxy, I'm just going to pour out Lolly so that you guys can see the difference of Lolly. And Lolly is still very pinky. She's a really gorgeous pink, but she is a little bit lighter. Take a look at the difference. Can we see that gorgeousness? So if you're looking for something a little bit lighter, Lolly would be the perfect combination for that. And this is also an iridescent ultrafine, for anybody that's wondering. All right, and let's see. My next color is Pikachu. Put that back there and shake this off. All right. Is Pikachu. And Pikachu is also a lighter version of the yellow. See? How gorgeous is that? So, they all of these kits, the only difference is that you'll get a difference in 2 yellows, a difference in a yellow and a pink. So if you purchase Glitter Kit 2.0, you receive Pikachu, Lolly, NYC, which is the black, Tin Man, which is the silver, and Fool's Gold, which is the gold. Okay? If you get the regular glitter kit, then you will receive Candy Yum Yum and Sunflower in place of Lolly and Pikachu. Okay? Which are the colors that I have here. It's also the colors that I used in the pencil kit for that tutorial that I already have up on our channel. All right? All right, coolio. So, Mike, are we good to go? All right. So, guys, those that have been watching so far, if we have quite a few, let's go ahead and give this video a thumbs up before we move on and as I go through the supplies that you'll need. So, a couple things that you're going to want to do and that you're going to want to have. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently, only not to bore you guys. I know a lot of you guys watched the pencil kit tutorial. That one had an amazing breakthrough, so thank you so much for watching. But I wanted to give you something a little bit different to look at. So today we're actually going to be doing our bases using alcohol ink. So I'll be using, I couldn't find my Pinata Black, so I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz Pitch Black, Pinata Sunbright Yellow, and Pinata Senorita Magenta. All right. So these are the three colors I'll be using. I'll show you guys how I do that. Actually, can you get me the brushes, Mike? You're gonna need two different sizes of tape. I'm using electrical tape, and then I'm gonna be using 1/2 inch painter's tape. Okay, and then I hate to do any of the taping of the triangles, so I actually print this out using my Cricut, and I have these ready for myself. I'll be using a combination of brushes, so anything that you have. I love to use the foam brushes, they're really easy to use. I also used a lot of these before, so I'm just taking out some of that excess water. You're going to want to have a small brush that is firm to the tip, because it's going to make a huge difference when you are doing these edges. Okay. All right. Phenomenal. Questions so far? Do you have any questions? All right. No questions. Good. All right. So the first thing, I'm going to move this to the side so that it's not in our way. We're going to want to tape off our sections here. And as you've seen in my previous cup, I don't know, this is preference. You can do it backwards or how I have it, but I choose to have my eraser at the top and then my pencil lead piece at the bottom. So that's exactly what I'm going to do so that I can continue to have that same design. All right. And I always start at the tip, and I will, and I start at any side that you're doing, I start at the tips or at the edges of each, just because for me it makes it easier to follow that line.
Give it a second. You're frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen. Sorry, guys. When I'm back, let me know. Are we good? Okay. So.
Refresh your screen.
Alright, guys. Sorry, I'm being told I'm lagging here.
Yeah. You're getting people telling you that you're lagging. Daisy said it's still frozen.
Let's see. We don't know what is going on in our area, guys, but our internet has not been all that good the last couple of weeks. We're down and out again?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, am I back? Are we good now?
Yes.
All right, perfect. It's my battery's dying.
You didn't put your charger?
No, I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys, my fault. User error. All right, so as I was saying, wherever I start, I always use the edges to kind of guide me. Anything that I don't have to go crazy on, guys, I'm not going to. I hate doing the lines on the cups. Anything that requires me to make a line, I'm going to mess that up. So I just try to use the cup as my guide. So what I go ahead and do here is I line up the painter's tape to the edge of the cup, and then I quickly go around, all around the cup, just like so. And I make sure that it is fully aligned, because what I don't want to happen is that, let's say it's off by a little bit, like you'll see those discrepancies. I give this a generous amount of cut off, and then I will flap it over so that I remember where it is. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing with the electrical tape, and I'll start where I ended the other one. If I can ever pick this up. I always have these weeding tools around just so that I can help me with the tape and stuff. All right. And I go all around there, and I follow the edge of my painter's tape at the bottom, okay? And you're gonna follow this around. Now I will tell you, I had a little bit of difficulty when I was picking up the tape, like pulling it off. I had some spray paint coming off, and I don't don't know if it's because I didn't wait as long to let my paint dry, and that could absolutely be since the temperature is like fluctuating here. But that is actually why, if you can see, I have some acrylic paint to the side. In the event that our paint lifts a little bit, we'll just cover it with those in those areas. All right, and I'm just making sure that this is well aligned all around. Okay. All right, perfect. Now we've met the center. Let me know if you guys are still good, have any questions. Mike is here and gonna be, and we also have Kristen and we have April answering any questions, guys, if you have any. Okay, so we have the beginning, our eraser, our metal piece. We're good. Now,
you have a question?
Sure.
Does it matter if you have 2 different size tapes?
I mean, these are 2 different size tapes, so no. I prefer the 2 different size tapes only because it gives that depth of, you know, when you think of a pencil. Oh, I actually have a pencil right here. Even though it's Halloween, guys, so pardon me. The silver piece is a little bigger, and then the eraser's on the top, right? So you can do either or. You can make it bigger. You can make the silver piece bigger and then the eraser bigger, however you choose. So I do think that using 2 different size tapes will be to your benefit, in my opinion. It just gives it more of the realistic design that you're looking for. Okay, so before I add my triangles, guys, again, because I'm using the cup, its edges to my advantage, anything, again, I will not stress myself over lines. So I will tape the bottom using electrical tape because it is the slimmer of both my tapes, and I will line them up to the bottom curve of the cup, all around, let's see. And I'm just gonna meet its other side. And again, guys, this is a lot. When it comes to any of these designs, you are going to have, you're going to have a lot of labor-intensive portions of this. So this is one of them. Just taping it off is kind of like, I do all these taping things. But it's not as bad if you're cutting out on using your cutter, these little triangles, because if not, then you'd be sitting there kind of, you know, fighting with yourself, the evenness of your triangles. Guys, we have quite a few people on this live. We only have 5 thumbs up, guys. Let's go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Likes are free, guys. All right, I am not using transfer tape for this, okay? Not at all. I don't care to use it. I'm not going to waste the transfer tape. I'm going to carefully, and the only reason I'm not using the transfer tape also is because this is done. After I use this, it's not staying on the cup. So if it has a bubble, it's no big deal. Okay. So I'm going to carefully lift it, triangle by triangle, and I'm going to align it. Sorry, I'm going to align it to the painter's tape, okay? To the edge of that painter's tape. And I'm going to do my best. I think a lot of the question I always get is like, are you using permanent vinyl? Are you using temporary vinyl? Guys, use what you have, okay? I find that there's a lot of colors that I go, I'm like all of you guys, I go to the store, I get excited, I see a sale and I buy vinyl. Sometimes I'm not using it and it just sits there. Well, that helps me with using it for stencils, and that's exactly what this is. It's a stencil for me, so I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so this one, I think this one was Actually, it's on the back here. It's 6x1 Oracle, so it is permanent, but it comes off like a breeze, to be honest. So, and I'll show you. And what I'm doing here, guys, I'm fighting with my edges, again, because I don't really care about these bubbles or in between, in the triangles. I care here that they're lining at the tape. Okay, and I'm gonna finally pull this piece up right here, and go all the way around and meet the triangle. Actually, I don't even need to pull that. Alright, I hope you guys are having an awesome start of your week. We have little babies at home with ear infections, so yay us. It's been a struggle today. Alright. Alright, take a look at this, guys. I want to show you something because this happened to my other one. You're going to have to play with your measurements a little bit here. Oh, Dollar Tree has contact paper. Perfect.
What size triangles?
So this one in particular, I did, and I measured for this live. So it was 10 inches wide, and by 1.8 in length.
Okay.
But I'm having an overlap issue with these two, which I didn't have. Oops. Which I didn't have with this one. As you can see, this one is very well, like, wrapped around, but I'm not boggled by it. And so before I move on, I'll tell you why I'm not boggled by it.
10 inches by what?
10 by 1.8. So measure your cup, but for me, I like the length. I'm not boggled at the fact that this triangle didn't entirely meet, didn't meet correctly, because I'll just put my name, like the name that goes there, instead to cover that little error. So if that happens to you guys, don't go crazy. Don't knock yourself. Don't go strip the cup because you're unhappy with it. Just, you could do what I did, which is I did a flap over, as you can see right here. See? I flapped it over, and to make this one as even as it could be. And then if you're like, well, I still don't like it, just put the name on it. So not a big deal. See? Yeah. Awesome. All right. So once you're done with this, great. You're like, okay, Stephanie, so now what? This is the part where you can follow my previous video and you can do our acrylic paints. You can leave as is and start glittering on top. But because I'm using iridescent glitters, what happens is with iridescent glitters, you need to have a base to pick up the life of the color, okay? Because they're so transparent that it will pick up the white and it will dull out the vibrancy of your color. And that's not what you want. You want the color to really pop. So by adding a base closest to the color, you do that. And I find doing that also with like a black, instead on a white base, you paint the area black so that you have that richness pop through. Okay, and I'll be able to show you some of that. I'm going to have this. I had 2 cups over there. It's okay. I'm trying to find some empty cups, guys, for me to use. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You can see I've already inked it up a little bit with the before. Okay. I'm going to have, and this is a regular silicone cup, guys. This is nothing fancy. Use what you have. Don't go out and, buy stuff that you don't need. I'm putting 91% isopropyl alcohol into the silicone bowl, cup, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to use my foam brush for this because I don't care what brush I use. It's not that big of a deal. And I'm going to shake up my Pinata Sunbright Yellow and make sure that it is very well mixed in. Sometimes the inks tend to settle, so you want to give this a good shake. And I'm gonna do a couple of drops. Nothing that it leaks over. I don't want it to leak, but I just want it to run. And I'm going to just brush on the alcohol ink all over. Some of you are probably asking, well, why aren't you using the acrylic paints? Do you not like them anymore? No, I love them. I just use whatever is easier at that very moment. At that time, the acrylic paints worked just as well, but I found that there was a lot of drying time. So I was like, wait, I love using alcohol inks as bases. They dry very, very quickly, and they really don't give me any type of problem. So why not use them? And I decided to use them for today's video, just to give you something else to think about when you're like, well, maybe I don't have that color spray paint. Well, do you have an alcohol ink that maybe resembles that color that you wanted? Because maybe you can use the alcohol ink. Try to look at everything that you have in your toy chest, your craft drawer.
Keep your costs low.
And keep your costs low, like Michael always says. Michael's always saying we used to be retail managers, so we're always talking about costs and keeping it down, especially when it comes to your business. This is your hobby, it's expensive. If this is your business, it's still expensive, but you need to keep your costs down. This is some ways that you can cut corners without having to compromise your design. So we're firm believers on that. So we'll just try to give you guys some trinkets there. All right, so once you're done brushing this all around, and I didn't even need any alcohol, and so I put some alcohol in the bowl just in the event that the brush doesn't, the alcohol doesn't want to rub all the way around. I use it just to kind of lighten it up a little bit and get it to run, okay? So I want to make sure I get these corners right here. And all around, perfect. So now we have a fully covered yellow portion, and I'm going to rip off this top right here. Oh, and you see, you got to be careful because look, I'm pulling the paint all the way up, and I've been having this trouble. I normally have this trouble in the winter time, to be honest with you guys. I just think it's the cold. So what I'll do is I will paint. Let me put this down for a second. I will use white acrylic paint to cover up those areas. And the reason I'm doing that is because, especially with this area for the pink, you're going to see straight through that silver. That silver is really going to peer through. So you want to make sure that you have a nice base underneath, so it's not compromising your design. And you can probably avoid that by lifting it softer. I obviously don't learn my lessons. So while
That's for sure.
Yeah. So while I'm letting this dry, do you have any questions so far?
No, everybody's watching intently.
All right.
You have 30 viewers.
All right, nice. Well, welcome, welcome. Thanks everyone for joining me on this Monday night. I feel like I'm gonna give you guys some news. All right, I'm gonna let this dry. So what I'll do is, again, guys, I'm a mama of 4 kiddos. I do not have patience for anything. This is hence why I lift up paint. I will use a heat gun to kind of pick up, quicken up that drying process. I'm bringing down a light with me at that.
We've got 4 yellow roses. At what part of New Jersey?
Nope. Nope. We're from the city. Michael's from Brooklyn and I'm from Queens.
But it's all the same thing.
It's all the same thing. We all sound the same. Are you from Jersey? Let's see. All right, it dried up. All right, awesome. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to use the yellow brush because I'm going to contaminate it, and that's not what I want. So.
He said Jersey City.
Oh. We have a friend from Jersey City. All right.
Tons of friends.
So I'm just gonna open up, and again, this is Senorita Magenta. And
You got Paloma.
hey, Paloma.
He said Bushwick. She put a heart.
All right. So I'm just painting this on. Now you're probably all like, Stephanie, this is a lot brighter. It's a lot brighter. It is. Watch what I do. I just want to make sure that I have coverage here. And remember that alcohol that we have sitting in our little cup right there? Let's give the foam brush a little bit of alcohol and let's lighten that up. Do you see that? And that is how you're going to lighten up your ink.
Can you tell us the name of that color?
Yeah. It's Senorita Magenta. That's what it's called.
By who?
Pinata. And I picked up my paint again. I am not winning today with these paints. Anybody else experience these issues with paint, with the spray paint? Have any good ideas? Because I'm dying. Keeps happening to me. And I use Krylon, which I love because I've had so many issues with the Rust-Oleum paints. So any good tidbits would be amazing. Let me give this a bit more heat. Alright, just gonna pat this in. I don't want to rub. Okay, and all I'm doing is just, I want to give this a nice little coverage coat. Okay.
We have a comment. Do you ever wonder about washi tape?
Yeah, I love washi tape. In regards to using it instead of for the pencil cup, I never thought about actually using it for the pencil cup, but I think that would save so much time.
And then you add some mystique over it, and
Oh,
it'll be a nice cheap cup. And she wrote yes.
I love, love, love anything that's cheap version. We did a rainbow washi tape. And I loved it. It was like so much easier. I had done one that was like a swirl, and I had to do 7 of those cups, and I almost died. I was like, all right, I'm getting Mod Podge, guys. I said it right. He's laughing with me.
Finally.
Yay! Because the crafting police will come and get me, guys. I tell you that much. Okay, so I always put it in a little bowl or on the cap, whatever works. I'm going to use it in a little bowl. And I'm using another foam brush, guys, because I have like a jillion of these. And I'm just patting, I'm starting to put on my glue. I want you guys to add as much glue as you can without compromising the design. So what do I mean by that? Make sure that this is fully covered because it dries so quickly. But you cannot leave it like this. This cannot happen. If you do that, this is what your glitter will sit on. You're going to have other people that say, oh, that doesn't matter. No, that's a lie. It definitely does matter. Because you'll see your glitter will sit over these patches of glue, because that's what they are, patches of glue. So you want to give this even strokes all around so that you have an even playing field so your glitter can sit. So I said I was using Lolly, correct? Alright. And I'm going to let Lolly just fall onto a sheet of paper, something that you can capture your glitter on, nothing fancy, guys. I really don't. Like I say, you can use parchment paper, you can use paper. I use copy paper, guys. Whatever I have nearby. I always have a ton of copy paper, so bam. Right? And you want to give this. What I found the with the using the alcohol paints is that I didn't really need a second coat of glitter, which I really enjoyed. But for this one, I'm going to need a second coat of lolly because you could still see my base picking up here, and that's okay. But let's see what we can do with Pikachu, which is the yellow. All right. And if I'm talking too fast, guys, or I'm not talking enough, let me know. I'm here to help. I don't want to sit you guys here for 6 hours because this cup can really take the nerve out of you sometimes. All right. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm adding Mod Podge. Now, in case you're wondering why we're doing it like this and not painting the other and not setting up the other pieces yet, is because I want to make sure I have really nice and crisp lines for with the tape. I'm sorry, for the glitter pieces, glitter portions. So if I decide to remove right now, what ends up happening is I'll possibly distort the areas on where and contaminate them if I don't wait to do them. So this is why I do it in pieces. Now, if you're better than me and you have the ability and you're like, I got this, go for it. But I do it in portions only because I want to make sure that my lines are crisp. Down real quick. Add some more glue. Okay. Do we have any questions so far?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. So again, I'm just making sure I have really nice coverage. My intent is only to use one coat of glitter. Like I said, I want to conserve you as much glitter as you can. A little goes a long way, especially with these glitters. So
With the ultrafines.
Yeah, with the ultrafines especially, little goes a long way. So if you can navigate yourself to only use one coat, you've won. Okay. Like I said, I will not compromise the design either. So like for example, that part where Lolly needs a second one, I'm okay with saying, okay, I need a second coat. But let's see if we can get away with one coat of Pikachu. So what I'm doing is in the areas that I tend to have a lot of issues are my edges and the corners of these, because glue dries up very quickly and you as a person don't seem to put a lot on these places. So I'm making sure that I have really good coverage in these areas, okay?
And Daisy said that she loves the bottles.
Oh, yay!
She said she just got her Candy Yum Yum and City Island.
Doesn't it glisten? I love City Island. Alright, so this is Pikachu, guys. And I'm going to show you guys the differences of both of them again so that you can see them on the cups. Let me just turn this over. And let this pour on there. And again, all you're just doing is, I will tilt it and I will let this fall. And then as long as you have something to pick it up, it's okay. Alright, and all around. Oh, I just made a mess, didn't I? Oh well.
Yes, you did.
Glitter, glitter everywhere. My dog even has glitter, guys. She'll come in here. Take a look at that. How gorgeous is that? It's so crisp, it's so pretty, it's so vibrant, which I like. So here's so far the difference of the two colors. See? It's just a little, you put this away so I don't contaminate and I keep my glitter.
Wow. Show how much you used out of that.
Oh,
Absolutely nothing.
nothing. Yeah, nothing. All right. So, something very, very quick that you guys should know. We need to lift this, the points. I don't know what to call these. The edges, the points of the of the design of the triangles. There you go. Jeez, I'm having trouble speaking today, guys. Okay, we're gonna pick up the triangles, and again, look at that. It's picking up some paint, and the reason why I'm picking it up now and not later is because the glue is still fresh. So if you wait for this to pick this up when it's dry, what's gonna end up happening is that, for example, like here, if I had any glue on top of there, it's going to lift your glitter, and you don't want that. So I'm picking this up now. Okay.
And as you can see, the lines are sharp.
Sharp, sharp, sharp. They're crisp, crisp, crisp. And if I can save these, I will. But recently I make them so tiny and so thin, where the triangles meet, that I'm not able to salvage them. But if you're using these as stencils, no biggie. Kristen, she said that using contact paper will work just as good. So guys, like,
Buy that at
and
Dollar
you
Tree.
buy that at the Dollar Tree. So maybe you can cut that out nicely using your cutter, your cutting machine, and bam. Oh guys, I am taking, look at that. Something's gotta be up with my what's that thing called? Spray paint. Alright. Yeah, look, it just comes off so nicely. Oh. Alright. So look at these clean edges. Forget about the paint coming off. We'll fix that in a second. But look at those clean edges, guys. And this is what you want. Now, again, if you wait, what you're potentially doing is you're going to be hindering your design, because this is any glue that you have over it will peel off right with it. Just think about when glue's on your hand and you're kind of peeling off the cell that it created over your hand. That's what it's doing. So let me grab my brush here. I'm just dipping this in, and I want to give this a quick little paint job. It's not that big a deal, to be honest, for me. This is something that bothers you. I'm so sorry, guys, but this happens. It's happened, like I said, it keeps happening to me now that like it always happens to me when the weather is colder. I probably, because I leave my spray paints in the garage, and then I just go out there and I just do it when it's really cold. So it's affecting the way it's staying on my cup. So I just use your acrylic paint to paint over in these areas, and not a big deal. Plus, in this area, we're going to be using Fool's Gold, which is a holographic gold. And so it doesn't have much, it has really nice coverage. What happened?
I said it won't peer through.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So how many of you guys have tried pencil cups? Have you done it like this, or what are some of your methods? I'm curious to know while I'm painting this on and having the time of my life.
See, but this is an easy fix, and this is real life. Mistakes do happen. You just gotta know how to work through it and fix it.
Yeah.
This is not the end game.
Nope. This stuff doesn't bug me. It's the stuff that I can't fix that bugs me. This stuff I can fix. Alright. So while we let this sit and dry, let's go ahead and hopefully cross our fingers that we don't have to do any painting on this one. Let's pick up this section right here. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, because we have 2 layers that we need to worry about. We have the part where the eraser is, and then the beginning of the yellow piece. So we want to make sure that we try to get this up as soon as it's down, as soon as the glitter is placed, because we need to ensure the integrity of these lines, okay? All right, perfect. See that little drip right there? That's a quick fix. All we have to do is you can grab a rag and some alcohol and just rub it out. Not a big deal. As long as it's not as pungent as it is right now, you should be able to fix it. The silver holographic, it also doesn't peer through that much, but like a pungent color like this, you'll be able to see a little bit. So you want to make sure that you clean it off as best as you can. This thing is soaking up a lot. Okay, so you want to clean that off as best as you can. It's not going to come off, but it's going to bring down that vibrancy just the way it did when we had it and it was really, really dark. So, okay, just enough. And if you're like, Stephanie, I really hate that, there you go. Acrylic paint is your best friend. Take a look at that. So, now you're gonna need a smaller brush. This is another tea brush that I have. Guys, if I don't remember the names of all these brushes, so don't kill me on that. But I will tell you what I know, and I will call them what I do. And so this to me is a tea brush. And it just has a really nice square to it so that it allows me to give, to stay in the lines of the design all around. What I do is I give a nice glob of glue and I pull it all the way around. Okay, so you're gonna have some on the areas and we're gonna, on the edges, so just give this a second. I'm gonna carry this through, and then once it's all around, I hope you guys can see it because I'm getting kind of a glare. So,
perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to these edges really carefully, and I'm gonna be bringing that glue that I had, that excess glue, downwards. Okay? Downwards. And just so therefore, I don't wanna take too much away. I don't want it to be too thin because I don't want it to dry as I'm making sure that this is precise, because that's what ends up happening. We get carried away with the precision that we make it too thin, and what happens is the area will dry, and then there goes the fact that you need that second coat. Okay, that's typically why you need a second coat, not so much, there's different factors, but a lot of the times it's because we let the glue dry. Okay, so I want to bring that down and making sure that I don't have it in any extra places. Making sure that it's not thin, just the same way we did in those areas up here. Okay, all right, perfect. So then here I go, grabbing my sheet of paper, and I'm going to use a sprinkle on this one.
Kristen Gunn and Keisha De Jesus said that they didn't think of doing the colors underneath, and they used like 3 layers of glitter.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, no, save yourself the money
And the headache.
and the headache. Yes, no, but take a look. You see, I can still see some of my magenta. So for this one, for Tin Man, I'm also gonna have to do a second layer, or maybe even just like a little blotch right there.
You can't even see it. Okay.
You can't? Well, I can, so it's gonna bug me. I'm like, it's gonna bug me. Tap that down. All right. Yeah, I love using alcohol inks. I think I used it for, what did I use it on? I feel like I used it on a live on Facebook that we did for a blue, and it works. It's perfect. I don't have all the spray paints, and guys, I am not one person that's gonna go out there and like, does this match and have 70,000 spray paints? No, that's just not. First of all, it's not cost effective. And it's not necessary, especially because you have so many tools in your toolbox. You're out there, you're buying all these inks and all these paints, and you have it in there. You just have to figure out how you're going to piece it together.
Kristen's fiance couldn't figure out why this cup was called the pencil cup. He thought it was to store pencils. He's gonna come around, don't worry. When she said she wanted to buy glitter, I was like, what?
Yeah, he did not.
Buying glitter?
He was not on board, guys. He was not on board. Here, I'm gonna dry this up real quick. I actually feel like this one is a little bit more like school pencil. Like,
Yeah, it's a nice, it looks like one of those brand new pencils.
Yes. Okay.
Those are the new age pencils.
Yeah.
I love it though.
Okay, so I'm gonna do my gold next, and I'm gonna be using this tea brush, and it's gonna be a combination of the first one that we used for up here. Again, for the same reasons, I just wanna have a really good crisp brush that I can get to those edges nicely. But then I'm gonna be using the smaller tea brush so that I can get into those crevices. I always start by putting a nice glob in the centers of the triangles, and then I work my way into them, so that therefore I can see if I need additional glue. I go back, but it just allows me, I don't know, I just work better like that. Alright, so then with that glue I move it around, and I'll get to those edges with my brush as best as I can. I'm not going to force the issue because I have the little brush and I have a little bit of fuzz here. I have the little brush to help me with that, but I will do my best because again, with precision, we tend to be very thin with our glue, and we'll be stuck doing two coats of glitter. Alright, so again guys, as you guys are watching me, let's go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, please, and thank you.
And if you have not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be the first to see our videos.
Yeah, and always know, because we post on all the social medias that we are going live.
Oh, I didn't post on Instagram.
I did.
Instagram?
Uh-huh. And
better than me.
So, again, we'll also post it on YouTube. So just in case that you're not connected that day, YouTube will send you a notification. So go ahead and do that for us. All right. Sorry guys, I'm always so quiet when it comes to these things. I'm so sorry. I try to talk to you guys through them, but I'll answer you any questions. So which one do we like so far more? Do we like Lolly or do we like Candy Yum Yum and Pikachu? Like which one what combination do we like more? Let's see. One. Putting this on. I prefer both of them, but I'm really loving the vibrancy in Lolly and Pikachu. Maybe because I'm just making it now, but I do really like them. I have a couple of teachers that I'm making these for, and I'm so excited. But of course, in true Stephanie nature, I am late to get these going. So late. So I was like, I have to get these done. I told Mike, I was like, maybe I will get these on live so that we can all see what they look like. Alright.
You got 2 for the Lolly version.
Yeah, I like
That
them.
is Pencil Kit 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Balali and Pikachu are available by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
or you can get the kit.
Yep. They are available. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure now I have a brush in my mouth. Who else does that? Mike will call me when he's at work. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm painting." He's like, "Painting what?" I'm like, "Blue." He starts laughing. He knows I'm doing some type of crazy design. I'm so ready to do a Galaxy Cup. Who wants to see that one? Wants to see a Galaxy Cup live? I have so many ideas for it. Alright, let's see here. I'm just making sure I have really, really good coverage, guys. I don't want to go back and do some 2 layers. Alright. Take a look. Now, Fool's Gold is my absolute favorite gold because it's such a bronzy gold. It's so like vibrant and its holographic shift is crazy. It's insanity how cute it is. Alright, so let's see here. I'm stuck here. Okay, so there's some areas that we're gonna need to go back and do some adjusting to. So for example, here there needs to be a more glue, but I don't want to compromise that edge. So I'm using my smaller brush to get into those areas so that I create a really nice and crisp line. And yes, I'm doing this as it's wet. The reason I'm doing it while it's wet is because it's still movable. If I wait till it's dry, then I'm compromising the design, the line, and I don't want to do that. I want it to be able to move. I need it to move. Like say, for example, right here, there's an extra layer that maybe I had a little bit of glue on there. So I'll move that out. But if I wait, what ends up happening is I can't adjust those areas. So then I do them while they're wet. Okay, and I'll do some really small pats, and that won't compromise the design. It just, like I said, allows you to have some flexibility. All right, can we still see that? I can't see you guys. I'm so sorry. Last time the video was upside down, but I was able to see you all. This time I can't, so I just want to make sure that
It's frozen right now.
I don't. Is it the?
Still on. You're moving up there. Okay, you're good. You're back.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go back and get glue into glitter into those areas where I put some glue. So that we can have those lines, and then right here, I have brushes all over the place, guys, so if you just see me moving around, that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to get some brushes. Take a look at how I had an uneven line right there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? This is why I don't wait. I do it when it's wet because I want to control those areas. And you're going to have to do that sometimes. Like, you're just going to have to take it for what it is and fix it. Remember, you guys are creating this. You're literally painting on glue and ensuring that these lines are crisp. So, all right. See? Want to make sure they're very, very straight, and so in any places that I'm unhappy, I just go back and I adjust. That's it. That's all. So if you're saying, okay, well, I want some more in some places, well, then you add more. But that's all. So now let me put this away. And before I move on to the black, I want to fix that part of Lolly that I had.
And the silver?
Oh, and a little bit of silver, yeah. Let's see if we can get away with that there. Now I'm going to use my foam brush, and if you guys probably have heard me, I love using the foam brush because especially for second coats, because I love how it actually holds a lot of glue, okay? So it allows you to really press in and push in that glue onto your cup, okay? Alrighty, perfect. And you're probably like, Stephanie, your glue is yellow. Yes, it is. It turned a little yellow in with the Mod Podge, so don't do as I did, use a new Mod Podge, but it's not gonna make a big difference, to be honest. It will dry on clear, and it won't be an issue. All right, and I'm just pouring that back on. So, I wanted to get this done and have a, see, how cute is that? Love it, love it, love it. Now, I have the other cup done because I want to talk to you guys about making sure that you're sealing your glitter correctly. That's something that I see and I hear a lot about, like, hey, like, you know, my glitter shifted. You do not spend all this time doing these design guides without properly sealing your cups, okay? So we're going to talk about what that looks like, and I actually did that with this cup, and we'll get that under epoxy.
So I'm doing a roll call. We got Tennessee, we got North Carolina, we got Indiana.
Nice, hello. Who's excited to start their pencil cup? Who's actually doing it right now as we speak? Or are we waiting to see what it is?
We have a Sonia who wrote, "This is a first." So I'm not sure what she was saying. We got a Texas in here, Jersey, Michigan.
Hello, everybody. All right, guys. So now to your lead piece here. Please don't peel off. Look, I'm talking to the cup now. I'm going crazy, guys. All right, peel. Came off.
That was your fault.
That was my fault.
That's an operator error.
That wasn't a full-on operator
She was
error.
doing so good too. I was so optimistic. And we have a Tony Burns from North Carolina. Hello. New Mexico, by the way of Minnesota.
Hello. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. It is late on this side.
Yes, it is 10:03.
It is.
And we've been live for about an hour.
Alright. I promise not to keep you guys live.
Too long on a Monday.
Yeah. But I appreciate you guys being here.
We have a San Diego.
Hello, San Diego. Alright. Stay. Alright, we're gonna have to let this dry. They're fighting with it. She does not like me today. Alright, what I'll do is, guys, since I gotta let that dry for a second.
We have a Cheryl from Alabama.
Hello, Cheryl.
And April said that you talk a lot nicer than she does.
April's only because I'm live and YouTube kind of flags me every time I throw in a curse word, but there's a few of them I wanted to say. We'll just insert them nicely. How about that?
We have a Sonia says, "Hey, why the love for creating your cups?"
What?
I think she was saying, "Why do you love creating cups?"
Oh, why do I love creating? Honestly, because I just, oh man, well, there's a lot of whys. Well, because I had the truth of the matter is I went through severe postpartum depression and it was an outlet. It was a way to kind of escape how I was feeling. That's why. And it made me happy to be able to create and do things, and it was exciting to see them completed. And it started with shirts. It started with just making little trinkets, and then I started seeing these cups, and I was like, I have to do this. My husband was like, no, you're not making cups. I'm like, oh no, I'm absolutely making cups. He came home one day. He's like, what is this? And I was like, I'm gonna make cups. He didn't believe me. He went to work, and I started making cups. And then
Literally.
I was like, you know, he was like, you're spending a lot of money on glitter. And I was like, I really like glitter. So we had a lot to chat about. But that is why I like making cups. And I didn't want to give it up. But I have a really big thing about if I was planning to start a glitter business, about selling cups. I didn't think it was fair, because I didn't think that if I'm going to sell glitter to other cup makers that I should make cups. But I didn't want to stop making cups, so I decided to teach instead. And so yeah, that's the long story of it, Sonia.
She wrote, "Cool." You have a person from Georgia.
Hey, Georgia.
Whitney from GA.
Hello, Whitney. All right, guys. What I'm doing right now is while I'm letting that sit and dry, I'm going to set up my epoxy. I'm using KS resin, and for those of you that do not know, you get 5% off on the KS resin website using code Glitterful. I like Alumilite, but I prefer KS resin. It gives it a really awesome glass-like.
You have a request to see your stripe cup.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
This is my Grinchmas blend cup. This was the one that I did, a couple weeks ago, right? It was my candy cane. And as I was making this cup, like most cups that I make, I decided to keep it. So, yeah.
But let me tell you, she still hasn't made me a cup.
Michael is punished. He is not allowed to have any cups because he leaves them on top of vehicles and then runs over them. So he is not allowed to have any cups.
I do no such thing.
He did. So this cup over here, I'm only going to set up enough for the one cup, not for the two, because the other one needs to seal, and I'll talk to you about it while we let this sit for a second. Sealing your glitter is very important when you're having multiple colors, because if not, your glitters will shift and it will create it'll create a blend instead of the design. So your design will no longer bleed there. It will be a bleeding of glitters. So you need to properly seal your glitter. And I've used, and I prefer to use, Krylon Crystal Clear Acrylic Spray. And I spray it 4 times. I've gotten questions on why 4 times. Guys, because I like 4 times. There isn't a science to it. I like to seal it 4 times, 10 minutes in between, like intervals of 10 minutes, because it just ensures me that it is 100% sealed and it will not shift. So that is why I say 4 times. But if you do it in any other way and that works for you, hey, that works for you. for the newbies that are watching and have never tried this, these things can be kind of intimidating, and I don't want you to get discouraged if your glitter moves, okay? And I say that with all kind-heartedness because it is hard when you sat there and you made a design and you're like, it's perfect, and then you put epoxy in it and you're just like, what happened? So this is why I say 4 times, because every thing that you use, I say Krylon, you may go out there and you may buy Rust-Oleum, you may buy Mod Podge spray, you may buy different things. So what I'm saying to you is I use Krylon Crystal Clear, and I seal it 4 times, and I seal 10 minutes in between. So I know others on here, some other artists. What? I'm sorry?
So you got asked if you're gonna do the black on the bottom.
Yes, I'm gonna do the black on the bottom, I promise. I'm just letting it dry, so I'm just setting up the epoxy for the other portion, because the black is gonna be very quick. So I'm gonna let this sit. So that's what happened, guys. I'm sorry.
And
User error.
Tony says her husband, he doesn't have one either. You know what? I'm not afraid of the glitter, but she doesn't want to make me one. I'm like the last on her list.
You know what, Michael? I should have taken a picture of that cup so that every other artist in here can see how you destroyed a beauty. It was, guys, it was flat. The cup was like disintegrated. The pieces of epoxy were just like chipping off in areas. Like, my son told me, I pick him up from school, he's like, hey mom, I'm like, hey, he's like, dad told you? And I was like,
yeah, he has no loyalty.
I'm like, told me what? And he's like, oh, never mind. And I was like, what do you mean? You can't tell me, did dad tell you, and then not tell me? Jeez. So then he comes home and he pulls it out of the garbage. Guys, he didn't even throw it outside. He threw it inside of the house. He threw the cup away inside the house. I was ready. I was like, no. Yeah. So, alright.
He says she's gonna send me the brightest hot pink sparkly cup possible.
He would love that.
Look, I am not afraid.
He will walk around with it. Alright, while I let that sit there, guys. Alright, let's get back to our...
we have an Ivy. She said that she just started, but she's still unsure about it, about making cups.
What are you unsure about? Let's see. I'm gonna give this some heat. A lot of this, Ivy, is just doing it. We have a lot of people on the group, and if you're not one of them, join us on Facebook, on our Beautiful Glitter Fanatics group. There's a lot of new members that are just like, I don't know where to begin, or I don't know what to expect. A lot of it is just having patience with yourself and literally just diving in. I mean, start with, go to the dollar store. Go pick up one of the cheap dollar stainless steel tumblers, the ones that, have, that are just, they're not insulated, so they're just a stainless steel outer, and start by taping it off. Then start by, if you can spray paint it, go outside and spray paint it, so that you kind of start getting into the motion, and then maybe doing one solid color glitter, and start there and seeing how that feels to you, because a lot of it is just getting over that initial am I gonna mess this up? Is this going to sit correctly? So a lot of it is that, and you just have to start by soaking in your feet into that water. Like, just start. No one in here has had a perfect cup their first time, so you won't be the first, you won't be the last, and you'll definitely also learn a lot about the things that you like. There's a laundry list. Give me a second before I continue. Guys, what I did is I went ahead and used Pitch Black Tim Holtz, and I'm putting that into the bottom, and I'll be adding that to the rim as well. Ivy, as I was saying, there are lists, literally laundry lists that you'll ask for, that you'll get, that they'll be out there in the world of how to start, when to start, what to use, how to use it. I'm telling you that laundry list will get smaller and smaller because you will find the things that work for you. You will see that some things will be added, some things will be taken off. When I started, I used to love this brush. Okay? This brush right here was like everything to me. I loved it. That brush got so wonky after a while that I was like, wow, like, why, I can't keep spending a $4 brush. There has to be something better. So I started using the foam brushes. I was like, wait, hold on. 98 cents for 8 of these? Wait, hold on. I have to make this work because, first of all, I'm a cheapskate and I was not going to keep spending $5 on a brush just because I liked it. And I
Plus,
found,
I wouldn't let her.
yeah, plus he wouldn't let me. That's a lie. He lets me do everything.
I do.
So I literally just went and I just started trying different things and I made things work for me. And there are some things that I don't have any given. For example, Mike will build me a cup turner. Cup turner, loved him. He tried, but it sounds like a dying dog.
First of all, let's not talk bad about Michael. He's a great guy. Okay. He
so
built the cup turner.
For me, I prefer buying a mechanical spinner, and I prefer from the Moz Bros people on Amazon. I just like the way they work. They haven't died on me. So things that I have to spend money on that will last, I prefer. But if you have someone that's handy that can build you a cup turner and do it. If it saves you a penny, do it. As long as you're comfortable with it. My cup turners sound like a dying dog, so I'm literally like a dying dog. But I still have it. It's still here.
Do we have those glitter shelves yet?
No.
No, we did not.
No. But now he has no choice because now we have bottles, guys. So we will have to get that. All right. So now that my black is on there, let's go ahead.
We have a question.
Sure.
Can you glitterize plastic cups?
You can. We actually had a conversation about that either today or yesterday. Hold on a second, guys. Either today or yesterday about the plastic cups. You're going to have people that say, don't do it. The cup will have perspiration because of the ice, like if you pour ice into it, and so then your epoxy will kind of break off. I have plastic cups that hasn't happened to. The other thing is like they're porous. So yeah, they are porous. So I think you just want to be more cautious of who and what you're giving them to. I wouldn't epoxy them plastic cups for my kids, but for me, I don't really care. I just, use them from time to time, and I use them for water. So I don't use them for anything hot that will make my epoxy reheat itself. So that's something to think about. It's like, what are you using these plastic cups for, I guess is the question.
And when epoxy reheats, what is that?
When epoxy reheats, is it like uncures itself, and so that's when it becomes not safe for a person to be around because it lets off fumes. It's unsafe to be, for it to touch your skin. So yeah. We have
a Tony Burns, and she said the hardest cup that she's ever done was the Buffalo Plaid.
I'm with you on that one. I did a tutorial on that, but I stay clear of those. I mean, they are gorgeous. You feel so satisfied to get those done, but Lord, those do get you. They get you good. By the time you're done, it's 6 hours later, you're sweating. You all you want to do is have a drink or two. If you're not already drinking while you're making it.
Miss Ivy said that she started out doing cups by hydro dipping, and now she's trying out the glitter, and she just ordered her first glitter from us.
Oh,
By the way, she loves our glitter. Thank you, thank you,
thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
If the labels are crooked, it wasn't me. It was Stephanie.
That's a lie. He can no longer blame the sun.
Yeah, I used to blame it on him, but now he's in school, so now I can't blame it on him no more.
Summer break is over. All right, guys. So I'm just adding the last bit of glitter here.
Ooh.
What happened?
So Whitney said that she has a buffalo plaid hack. She said she used buffalo plaid fabric, and she made a fabric tumbler.
Whitney, then you need to check out our Mystique because the
Yes.
Mystique will help you with that hack. It will give you a shimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You
it
add
almost,
over that.
it's almost like a shimmer that you can't even see.
That would be great. Maybe we should do that for a live one week.
Yeah, or Whitney, you can do one on our Facebook group. And
Yes,
join us.
Whitney, are you up for a live?
You can join us and show us your hack.
And Daisy said that we should check out scrapbooking paper for buffalo plaid.
Funny story. We will be playing with some scrapbook paper in this next near future. If you guys don't know who Paper Phenomenon is,
I think Daisy's from Paper
Is she?
Phenomenon. I believe so. Daisy, are you from Paper Phenomenon's group? Do you know my aunt Kathy King? I believe you're from there. I can't remember.
all
But
right,
yes,
guys.
scrapbooking paper. That'd be cool.
I am wiping off the excess, but not on my black here.
Yes, conserve that glitter. Yes, Daisy is from there. Yeah, I knew I
Yay.
remembered your name. I was like, I
Yep.
think
So
she's
we're gonna
from
be
there.
using Kathy's paper.
Yes,
literally
the
Christmas.
Merry and Bright collection.
Well, Christmas went by so quickly, so I'm thinking about using the Magical Memories paper. I'll have to see. I gotta check it out. This Marion Bright is.
Almost over. We might be able to squeeze one in beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he said Kathy is why I'm here. We love it, we love it. Thank you so much. She said my husband and dad built the Turner. She said you could build one for about 200, and Tony said that she built one for $50. Yeah, Tony, that's what I built mine as well for, just around that money as well.
Yeah, and that was the
Like $50.
right.
Because you got to buy a bigger piece of wood and get it cut if you didn't have them, laying around. So yeah, it was about $50. I think that's what I spent. And I did hers, and I made her a single one first, and then with the scraps, I ended up making her a 4-turner one, which she hates so much.
It sounds like it's dying.
Look, I didn't make the spinner, okay? The spinner's making noise. I don't know what to do.
He tried, guys. He tried. When it fell over, it hurt. It hurt. You hear me? It's a person. I'll fix this after the fact. All right. So guys, so this is it. There's some areas that I need to fix now that it kind of fell over, but that's basically it, guys. You're gonna take your time. Try not to rush like I did. But you're gonna get these really cool pencil cups. Okay. Both of these packs are a part of our Glitterful kit, and so you can find these on our website. Okay, so I'm going to leave this to the side for this one that we just made, and I'm going to chat with you. Actually, hold on a second. Ugh, got my hand stuck in there. Hold on, pulling this out. Sorry, guys, and tipping this over. Okay, perfect. All right. So for this one here, I went ahead and I'm just pushing in my phone here. I went ahead and I sealed this I sealed this 4 times with crystal clear acrylic spray, so I know that it's not going to shift around. I am going to grab my spinner here. I'm going to use my Teflon sheet, attach this to my spinner, making sure that it's good and tight. All right. And again, I whipped up KS resin, and as you guys saw, I let it sit. So it thickens up. I do have quite a bit of micro bubbles. So you can let it sit a little bit longer and get rid of it, or you can use your handy dandy torch to get these gone. Okay, so I'm gonna have this handy, and let's see, I'm gonna add this onto here, and that's basically it, guys. Once you're done with this, if you have a really good layer of epoxy on here, you should be able to have a really smooth surface in order for you to add your vinyl, as I did. I typically like to use a nice good quantity for my first coat, because I hate doing 2 or 3 coats the first time around. So I do kind of almost like a flood coat, but not really, so that it has nice coverage. And others would be like, don't do it like that, but honestly, you use the same amount of epoxy, in my opinion. I want to make sure I say that, in my opinion. So yeah, and then you have these beautiful cups, guys. You're gonna want to add heat to these, and they make perfect teacher gifts. We're still in the season of, for teachers and gifts. We have, yes, Christmas is over, but then we're gonna have the end of the year. So these cups will always be popular. So it's something good to start practicing now and getting it into your inventory, into your shops. So do you guys have any other questions about this? Let's see, any other questions as we're going around and adding epoxy? And again, guys, I'm using KS resin. This is liquid art. There's so many different forms. I've heard, I just had a member tell me that using the KS resin stone was so cool. Its curing time is a lot faster. So if you're looking at something that cures more quickly, then check out the stone collection instead of liquid art. I plan on purchasing that next and kind of testing it out to give you guys a review on it.
Hey, bye to Tony.
Bye, Tony. Thanks for watching. All right, guys. Well, it was wonderful having you all here tonight. This is all that I'm doing. I will be adding some fire to this. If you want to hang out until I do that, I will be here. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to our channel.
And hit that notification bell.
Hit that notification bell, guys. I thank you guys for spending this time with us.
Whitney said, where do you find that resin again?
On ksresin.com.
There'll be a link below.
Yeah, in the description bar. As soon as we post this video, we'll have the description below for you guys. But it's at ksresin.com. And like I said, the stone, according to one of our members in our group, she says it is amazing. Like, the curing time is faster. The exacts I cannot remember off the top of my head. I wish she was on to kind of chat about it.
The group.
Oh yeah, and join our group, guys, because that's actually where I got the info from. Glitterful Glitter Fanatics. If you're not a part of that, join us. We are always chatting about something, showing some crafts, learning some new things. So yeah, join us. Again, that link will also be in the description bar, but if you're looking for it right now, it's Glitterful Glitter Fanatics.
And I'm typing it in.
Oh, and Michael's typing it in so you guys can have an easy click. But do not leave without giving this video a thumbs up, guys. Remember, likes are free.
Please, we truly appreciate it.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. And yeah, and this is
And
it.
the code for KS resin is
Glitterful.
glitter. It's not glitter holder.
Nope, it's glitterful.
Glitterful, sorry.
Yep, glitterful.
Okay,
Not literally glitterful, but glitterful. So yeah, I'm just making sure this is fully on there, guys. And
Tony Burns just exited.
and yeah, there we go. And then we're gonna let this spin. I'm gonna let this spin for 6 to 8 hours, so that it's nice and tight. And then I'll let this. After that, I will add my vinyls, my decals, and get it back on the spinner with a small layer of epoxy, and then let it sit until it's ready.
The monthly kit has an hour left.
Oh yeah, oh guys, and our monthly kit has an hour left, which is a random selection of glitters, either in color palettes or schemes or collections. So check that out. We have a couple more spaces left. So check it out before the night is over. It's $35 for 1 month, and then it's no reoccurring payment. So what happens is that for next month, if you fall in love with it, which you will, you'll want to get it again, and then that one you'll purchase the new one during those times, during that designated time. Okay. Adding some heat to this. Never direct heat, guys, because what ends up happening if you add direct heat, like I've learned, you will set your cup on fire. So never direct heat, okay? Again, remember, guys, have a lot of fun with this. Don't be so hard on yourself. Nothing in this world is perfect. So just do the best that you can. Learn from your mistakes and ask as many questions. That's why we're here. So again, thanks so much for joining us, and you all have a wonderful night. Bye.